Welcome to Unlocked, an NAMFS podcast, episode 11. Innovation in Action. Tools Shaping the Future of Field Services.
Welcome to Unlocked, the NAMFS podcast where we explore the trends, tools, and ideas transforming mortgage field services. Today, we're looking ahead at the technology and innovations shaping the next phase of our industry. From automation and data analytics to AI and mobile tools, we'll discuss what's improving accuracy, reducing turn times, and enhancing quality control across field operations. We'll hear real examples of how technology is solving long-standing pain points, and we'll take a look at the next big thing that could fundamentally change the way we inspect, preserve, and protect property conditions. Let's meet our participants and dive in. My name is Eric Miller. I'm the Executive Director of NAMFS, and we'll go ahead and Keith.
Keith O'Donnell. I'm the National Account Director with iViewIt.
Kelly?
I'm Kelly Gooden. I'm the Executive Vice President of Operations at First Rate Field Services.
And Matt.
I'm Matt Zoldowski. I'm an account exec with Verisk Analytics.
Okay, well, thanks for taking the time. So we're going to talk a little bit about technology today. And so let's start off with kind of the first question. Kelly, I'll go to you. What new technology or feature do you believe would most improve accuracy and or turnaround time in today's operations?
So I think what we're looking at today is the shift from going from just documenting work to actually validating conditions at a property. So the use of AI has really come in to play in the last couple of years, and I can't wait to see where it goes. But not only are our vendors taking photos of the work they're doing, but it's actually validating the condition of what they're seeing. So that's faster information to us. Like, yes, we see this fence is damaged, but how is it damaged? And that helps the accuracy that first time they're there. That reduces visits. It helps us get a more accurate bid out the first time and a quicker turn time around for our clients. So I would say that's probably the best feature I'm seeing currently.
That's really good, especially given, the first time you go out there, you have to make sure you document all conditions or there could be a potential backlash. So that's a great use of technology. Matt, how about yourself?
So as far as improving accuracy, I think there's really two things. One is photo AI or AI around photos. So first off, in the field, detecting blurry photos would be number one. Get those out of the mix. Let the vendor know right from the get-go that they took a blurry photo, retake it, take your time and do what you need to. With photo AI, we can also do image recognition. So we can start determining what's there, what's the value of personals, what needs to be bid, those type of things. And then the other one, a very contested thing, which is auto measurement. Contested meaning vendors in the field always understand they're getting sent back because it doesn't look like it's that much. Well, if we could measure and determine that through AI to say, hey, there's X amount of cubic yards, the room is this big or whatever it might be, that auto measurement would really help the vendor in the field.
Yeah, those are definitely some good solutions there that are out there. Again, they're relatively new, but definitely something that can help. Now, if we could just figure out that the auto measurement could take into account, the fact that I have to smash it to get it in a dumpster, so we don't have to argue about, well, that's 40 yards of debris in a 30-yard dumpster type situation. So, but those are things that we'll work on. So those are really exciting technologies and uses. So next question, start out with Keith. How are members using automation, data analytics, and or AI to enhance quality control and compliance?
I think AI being a part of the quality control process is going to be a huge win for everybody in the whole supply chain. Whether it be you're getting too many follow-ups, you're not sending enough back. The idea that it'll at least be able to maybe improve the human aspect and speed up the process and just be a lot more accurate. So ideally, in a perfect world, you make one trip out, it goes right through to the client. We know that's not reality, but we hear from nationals that the quality is poor. We hear from inspectors that they're getting too many sendbacks for the wrong reasons. And I think the use of AI, especially as it improves over time, is going to reduce a lot of that heartburn that we're seeing on both sides. So the idea that you can utilize it for pricing to really expedite somebody claiming and completing the order, I think is going to be a big win.
Matt?
So there are a few areas that people are currently using it. One is photo detection. In our PPW solution, we're using it for grass cut recognition. So the software can actually determine if the grass was cut. And then photo duplication. It's always been an issue with photo duplication. We can detect those duplicate photos and then call that forward, showing you what order it came from. Sometimes it makes sense because some people will send multiple orders for one process, and that street sign might be duplicate. That makes sense. The other is setting up rules engines, so things that can be repeatable, things that, if this happens, this needs to happen, shouldn't go through a human interface. It should just automatically happen. And then the second one is detecting trends and implementing processes along those. So if we're seeing in the Northeast that boilers have certain things in them and so forth that you have to do, let the system determine that up front so you can send people out with the appropriate stuff before they even get there, appropriate approvals, appropriate information in order to deal with those houses.
Things. Obviously, a lot of people are familiar with the automated grass cuts as well as automated snow removal, right? People can have a rules engine in there to say X, based upon a community. Kelly, how about yourself?
So I would say the automation part has been a really big help here at First Rate. It really helps us stop managing the issues on an individual level, and it's more of seeing patterns. So that reflects in our vendor scorecards, our client scorecards, even internally as employees, we can look at more trends than just the one-off misses. And that really helps with our field teams, and we can look at, okay, so you had an issue come up, and let's not hold that against you for the next 6 months, but do we see a trend? Because things happen. Sure. This is a very organic industry. Things happen all the time. It never runs perfectly. And also use of the AI with the photo review, with the things in PPW, looking at duplicated photos. What Matt talked about earlier, if we could able to identify blurry photos off the bat and the vendor knows that before it even uploads, hey, this is too blurry, or this is taken out of tilt, or it's too dark. This is going to need to be retaken. I think that would be something that would help out our vendors tremendously, and also us internally going through these, and we're like, I know you just spent an hour there and took 100 photos, 75 of these I can't even see. They just won't work, for the bids. And the AI, using that to review, it prioritizes the human review of what actually needs human eyes on it, right? And it takes all of the stuff that just weighs down your day when you're like, you don't need to look at these 80 grass cuts, but this one's got something going on, and it red flags it for us. So it really helps us, prioritize what we need to look at and what we need to action and make decisions a lot faster.
Sure. Yeah, definitely looking at the exceptions, right? I mean, because those are the ones that we all, get in trouble for, right? Matt, start out with you on the third question. Can you share an example of how technology has helped solve a long-standing pain point, either in your organization? Obviously, at one point you were a vendor in the field. So what's a particular example of technology to solve one of those problems?
I think you were looking at my notes because so I was a vendor, as you mentioned, and I've been told by others, put away my yearbook because it's been long enough. I'm a technology person now, but I was a vendor, and we actually did develop Property Pres Wizard, PPW, to solve the issue of managing our work. It was back when defaults really started to explode. There was a solution out there, but it was based on a desktop. It wasn't easy to interface with. We developed PPW to help us run our business. Our office manager was kind of that driving force behind it, because she didn't like all our crews showing up in the middle of that night, dropping off SD cards and notes, knocking on her door and waking up her kids. So she kind of pushed us along that path. But it was really the adoption of technology that helped us move forward as a vendor, and then helped us help other vendors move forward by implementing that as a SaaS offering.
Cool. Kelly?
I would say with just overall, technology has helped us take data from multiple different streams, coming up with the dashboards. I've been in Pres now about 15 or so years. I also started in the field very at the end with the SD cards. I had very few times I actually had to do that, surprisingly. But you would do updates through email, then you would call somebody, or there'd be a text message. And coming up with these dashboards, now we can see this information real time, and we're getting it faster than ever before. And now we're able to take that data, and it's holding us accountable for the things that are going on. And technology has helped move that forward. We've always had the data, it's just been in 80 different places. And now we can finally put it in one main place and go to, and everyone's connected to that. And it's the transparency is amazing to where your clients know, your vendors know, and you know what's going on. And we're finally all on that same page, because that's half the battle, right? Is we're all on the same page as to what's going on. Because again, these properties are very organic. Nothing is the same. I've never walked into the same property twice. So I think that just with getting the data and the consistency of the data and it all being in that one place, to where we can now only, hold our vendors accountable, and we've seen that change in the field.
Sure. Keith?
So with us, about a year ago, we added video into our system. And video, I know there's been a lot of conversation about the use of video since I joined the field service industry in 2007. And there hasn't been a lot of uses that have justified it, but we added it in, and actually we've been coming up with more and more uses that have helped solve problems. I mean, simply, number one, you can get a much better overview of a property with somebody walking through the entire thing, doing a video. I don't really think it replaces photos, but it supplements photos, and will fill in those gaps. I mean, if you think of a HUD ICC inspection, it's not just what was done, but what wasn't done that can be the problem. So it's been a big win there. And then we, just like everybody else in the industry, were having a problem with people not getting into interior inspections for a myriad of reasons, which I'm sure you guys have all heard in the past. So we started requiring that they video themselves trying to open the lockbox. So we would actually see, are they putting in the right code? Are they making the attempt? And that little change dramatically increased the percentage of properties we were getting into, which obviously, improved our relationship with our clients. So that was one that we almost built the technology for one reason, and have found out many more reasons as we go forward that it can help solve these type of problems.
Yeah, well, you guys mentioned a lot of standardization, or at least, the data all being residing in one place. And at least that data is all there. Now we just really need the ecosystem to continue. It really does have a limitation, right? So being able to put video into that system, be it P260 or, a lot of the servicing systems out there, it's somewhat limited. So I think there's some challenges still to be had there, and NAMFS is really looking at trying to engage a little bit more with MISMO to try and make sure that data isn't lost in that translation, because I think that's what happens now. A lot of times that data is provided, but there's no mechanism really to get it up into client systems or servicer or investor insurer systems. So final question. Thanks again for taking the time. We'll go ahead and we'll start with Kelly again here. Looking ahead, what do you see as the next big thing in tech that will most impact the way we do work out there in the field?
So I think the next big thing with the use of the AI is going to be more of a sort of virtual inspections with faster reporting, knowing what the problems are before we're even sending an inspector on site, which plays a lot into the vendor safety, which is a huge topic right now. And as we go forward, I see that still being a huge topic we're going to be talking about. And just getting that information. But like I said, before we even go out, so we know what we're walking into, we can gauge like, okay, this is going to be a messy property, or this is going to be a breeze, and our vendors can come prepared. And again, that just means faster turn times. We know how long that order is going to take. We kind of had an idea of already what we're going to have to address with bids, and that just turnaround time faster in the field, faster in office back to the client, and we can get those properties moving through the system a lot faster.
Okay. All right. Keith, how about you?
So talking from an inspection standpoint, there's not really been a lot of change to the way inspections are being done. The tools have changed. No more Polaroids, no more digital cameras. It's all done online via apps. But I think what you're going to start seeing in the future is kind of a change to not just the visual inspection, but maybe pulling in data to support the results. We know that everything in the world is tracked. So, we know if mail is going, somebody knows if mail is going to the house. Somebody knows if the utilities are on. Somebody knows if FedEx is dropping off, Amazon dropping off. All that lives in the digital world. And it's just a matter of how do you pull that in. So now when you're giving an occupancy or vacancy determination, you've got support from those type of data sources to justify that. Because there's always the challenge between vacant and abandoned, two very different things. Right. So I think that's what you're going to start seeing. They're doing it in the appraisal world, and in some of the other, like single family rental has pulled some of that in. So I think that's probably going to be the next step here. Obviously, it also brings up other issues, pricing related, technology related, et cetera. But with the way the industry is heading, I think it's something that'd be a good improvement if we could find a way to really make that happen.
Yeah, I know there's a couple of companies out there that have stuff like that.
Yep.
They're
always
did
looking
some
for their next opportunity, which could be field service.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, sorry about that. Matt, how about yourself?
So I think the next big thing is somebody implementing it wrong. So it sounds negative, but it's a word of caution. I was at a conference recently and somebody was talking about running all their stuff through ChatGPT, which is public. It's a great thing to help you write emails and everything else. But if you're uploading photos to it, you're putting your clients at risk. There's also attorneys who have been using type things like that. And the sanctions for it, for quoting false cases, is rising because with more people putting data in, you're getting more bad things out. And it takes a long time to train large language models to really perform the way you want. So I could see something happening from that standpoint. But from a reality standpoint, what's the big thing? It's going to revolve around photo analytics, being able to look at photos and generate a bid, being able to look at photos and telling you more about the house. Verisk has a product today about roof age, where we can take all the photos in an area and tell you what the actual remaining life is on a roof. From an investor standpoint, that's important, whether you want to lend on it up front, what type of risks are you exposed to? From an insurance standpoint, it comes into play as well. So really analytics around photos is really the big thing that I think has the most legs that can really make an impact fastest.
Okay. All right. Well, again, at the leadership summit, I mean, we talked a little bit about, voice recognition and being able to talk and, being able to kind of allocate or document things along those lines. And I know that technology does exist out there, that you can take a look at photos and then it can automatically identify it, like I said, potentially create a bid. I think the point is well taken that Keith made is that just because technology can do it doesn't mean that there's not a cost associated with it. And unfortunately, that's always been the misnomer. No one ever thought that everyone would be able to do work on mobiles, right? I mean, it was all going to still be forms. So there's a lot of flexibility in the industry. A lot of people are willing to try some different things, but a good word of caution there, Matt, about how to use AI. So with that, I want to thank you guys for your time today. In today's conversation, made one thing clear: technology isn't just supporting field services; it's redefining what's possible. As tools become smarter and data becomes more actionable, companies across the industry are finding new ways to improve accuracy, efficiency, and compliance. The innovations we embrace today will shape the operations of tomorrow, and NAMFS remains committed to helping our members navigate the evolution with clarity and confidence. So thank you once again for joining us on this episode of Unlocked, and stay informed, stay innovative, and we'll see you next time. Thanks, everybody.
Thanks, Eric.
Thank you.
Thank you for watching and/or listening. Please be sure to subscribe to the NAMFS YouTube channel or wherever you get your podcasts. We look forward to next Wednesday when we unlock our next episode.